Hi everyone, my name is Tori, this is Novel Life, and welcome back to my channel. Today I have my December mid-month wrap-up to share with you. It is my last mid-month wrap-up of December. I cannot believe we're halfway through December. I am filming this on December 15th. You're seeing it days after. Obviously I'll read more, but I have time to film it, so I'm going to film it now. That's just how you're going to get it. I'm going to go through my statistics really quickly. I've read a total of 19 books. Most of those, I would say like 4 novellas, super short books. A lot of audiobooks, and 1 DNF, so it's not actually 19. I do want to slow down my reading. I actually have been slowing down my reading, even though it doesn't seem like it. It's just because I've been reading novellas, so it's taking me less time to read those. I have a breakdown of genre. I'm not going to do a breakdown of star rating, so I'm using a different reading tracker on my digitalness. I'm starting using digital everything for bullet journals, for reading journals, for tracking, planning, all that stuff like that. So I'm using it for December. So I'm not going to do a breakdown of star rating. I guess I probably could, but I do have a breakdown of genre because I do like seeing this. I had 7 holiday romances, 3 contemporary romances, 3 fantasy romances, 3 novellas, 1 dark romance, 1 historical romance, and 1 sports romance. I will say I had 3 5-star reads. 1 was a reread. I had 7 4-star reads, 2 4.5-star reads. That's out of order. Sorry about that. I had 3 3.5 stars, 3 3 stars, 1 DNF. I think that's all of them. I'm just counting them really quickly. Anyway, let me know if you actually like those statistics and I'll change it going forward. Like, what do you like to see? Do you like to see the star rating? Do you like to see the breakdown of genre? Do you prefer to see like ebook versus physical versus audio? I didn't say that, but I had 10 audiobooks, 7 ebooks, 2 physical books. It's very chaotic already, 2 minutes in. Anyway, I'm going to get into the books because that's why you're here. But definitely let me know in the comments what you prefer in my mid-month wrap-ups and in my wrap-ups. Do you prefer the breakdown of genre, breakdown of star rating? What do you like? Let me know because I'm changing that for January. Anyway, first book is Love Light Farms by B.K. Borison. This was my first read. It was like December 1st hit and I just completely switched. I was like Christmas romances. Now I will say I've been doing Vlogmas. I vlog weekly and then post it on Sundays. So most of these books if you watch those vlogs, you'll have seen. I gave this 4.5 stars. This was a great Christmas romance. I thought it was super cute. It's kind of fake dating, but it's her best friend she's been best friends with him forever. And she's running this what is it called? Christmas tree farm? Is it a Christmas tree farm? I think it is. It's called Love Light Farms. She's taken that over. They're having financial trouble. She's applying for, I think, assistance or something like that. She says that she's running it with her boyfriend. She doesn't have a boyfriend. So I am happy to have a physical copy because I really, really love this. Sam from Sam Reads Little got this for me. So thank you, Sam, for one of my Christmas gifts. And yeah, I listened to the audio. Audio was amazing. It was super, super good. But this was a good Christmas romance. Highly recommend 4.5 stars to this one. I did a reread of Daisy Hates by Jessa Hastings because while I'm filming this on December 15th, Daisy Hates The Great Undoing is supposed to come out, but it is having trouble on Amazon being published in the United States and Canada, which I'm like, I want this book so badly, but it's fine. It's fine. I did reread it. I highlighted a lot. I didn't really tab it just because I highlighted a lot, and usually I tab what I highlight. That's too many tabs, so I didn't really want to use it, but I did reread this as a 5-star read. I originally rated this 4 stars when I read it because I was so intrigued by Magnolia and BJ that I was like, screw everything, let's flip to BJ and Magnolia. Daisy, Christian, they're okay. So I originally gave it 4 stars, but when I reread this, I gave it 5. I just absolutely love this series, and I have a greater appreciation now that I reread. So when I say I reread books, it's obviously for a reason, just because sometimes it's 5 stars and I want to see if I still like it as 5 stars. Sometimes I am in the mood to reread books that I gave 4.5 stars, and I do that and I change my rating, which is the whole point of rereading. So I like to see where I stand after I reread a book, and I gave this one 5 stars. So good. And then we just started off with a bang. I had another 5-star read, and that's 'Tis the Season for Revenge. I got this book from Jess at Pizza Book. She sent me the physical book. I'm so happy I have this one. I love this. Love this book. This is a 5-star read. This is going to be on my top 22 of 2022. It is how do I describe this? It's obviously a revenge plot. I do not like the cover because it is extremely spicy, like Damien, our main male character. So spicy. It's age gap. He's older. She's younger. She's in her 20s. I think she's 28. He's 38, 40. He's somewhere around there. But basically, we see our female character on Halloween. She dresses up to go to her boyfriend's Halloween work party, and she's dressing up, all cute, and he's like, what are you doing? Why are you dressed up like that? It's a work party. No one's gonna be dressed up. Spoiler alert, everyone was dressed up except him. He's the asshole. And he breaks up with her, and she has this revenge that she's gonna get with her boss, or with his boss, and that's what happens. But then she starts falling for him, and I loved it. That is me. Like, you can't see, but like this color pink is my walls. And you think I'm kidding? I'm not kidding. Like, this color pink of this book is my walls, and that's the color pink that she loves. Like, this is me in a book. I love him. I love her and Damien together. It was so good. Ugh, such a good book. If you haven't read it for Christmas, read this. Like, you have a week, read it. I promise you won't be disappointed. Then I read a novella, Christmas in Quincy by Devney Perry. I gave this 4 stars. This was a cute novella. It's a prequel to the Eden series, so I read the Eden series completely out of order. I went book 2, book 3, book 1, then the prequel. But basically, these two people are coming to visit Quincy. So our female character, she's super rich. Her dad wants her for Christmas. She said, no, I'm taking a vacation. She takes a vacation to Quincy, Montana. She stays at the Eloise Hotel, which we see in the Eden series, and her bodyguard comes because she left without telling anyone, and he's all mad, and they have like a romance. It's one of those things, they've liked each other for a while, but now they're forced together, and it's cute around Christmas time. Don't know what else to say. I read Tragic by Devney Perry. This is the 3rd book in the Lark Cove series. And what did I give this? I think I gave it 4 stars? Okay, I gave it 4 stars. I do remember. Okay, I was like, wait, what happened? Basically, our main male character, he has a lot of trauma in the past. Like, he's lost someone, and they're forced together because they're neighbors. She moves in to the house next to him, and they have like a one-night stand thing, and they'll get it out of her system, but then she's moving in, and he's like there, and it was really good. I liked the whole, angstiness of him going through a lot. Like, it made sense of why it was so angsty, and it made sense why they weren't together. But they have this like appreciation and love for the other person, and I thoroughly actually enjoyed that one. That probably will be my favorite out of the series. I did read The Wallflower Christmas. I forgot I had this book. I got the audio, and I knew I had the paperback. I didn't know I had the step back with it, which I find hilarious because I love step backs. Didn't know I had this. This is a 5-star read. It was just a super short, quick novella. I mean, it doesn't seem like a novella, but the font is pretty big. I love the Wallflowers. I finished the Wallflower series this year with all the 4 books, technically, if you do Again the Magic, the first one. I loved this series. It is one of my top series by Lisa Kleypas. Between that and the Hathaways, I don't know, she has such great series, and I just thought it was really fitting for me to kind of wrap up the Wallflower series with the Wallflower Christmas. Now, we do get to see all of the other characters, which I love. We got to see Sebastian St. Vincent and Evie and all of that. I just love them. But we also got Rafe and what's her name? Oh, what's her name? Hannah? I think her name is Hannah. But their little romance, which Hannah is someone's handmaiden, I think, or maid. I don't know. It was just a really cute romance, and I thought it was blended really, really well with seeing all the Wallflowers, but also giving us a new romance that we haven't seen before, and I loved it. I did read The Holiday Trap by Rowan Parrish, and I gave this 3 stars. This one wasn't my favorite, and I talked about this a lot in my vlog. Either Vlogmas number 1, Vlogmas number 2, they'll both be linked in the description box below, but I just thought this one was okay. I thought that this book, it had a lot going on. It follows 2 people. They house switch. So one's from Maine, one's from New Orleans. He goes to Maine, she goes to New Orleans, and it is a male-male in Maine, female-female romance in New Orleans. So I was really excited for New Orleans, but the going back and forth thing, I didn't care about the couples. Like, we didn't get in depth. I felt like we didn't get enough in depth of both couples, of both people, like the main male character we're following and then the main female character that we're following. I didn't care. Like, I just didn't care about their romance. I wasn't as invested because I feel like the time was split too much. And yeah, it was just an okay read because of that. So, but I'm interested in the writing. I like the writing style. I just wish it didn't follow 2 separate stories. It just followed one, because I would be more emotionally invested in the romance, if that makes sense. The next book I saved my thoughts for this wrap up, and that is Anastasia by Sophie Lark. So I was super excited for this book. I was super, super excited. And I will say I gave it 2.5 stars. But I rated it 3 on Goodreads because I went back and forth. It's not a 2-star, but it's not a 3-star. It really lands in the middle. And as a fantasy romance, I think 2.5 stars, 3 stars is appropriate for this, because I personally do not believe this is truly a fantasy romance. I think this is a really good fantasy. Well, I think this is a fantasy that has a lot of romantic elements, and I'm going to dive into it a little bit more with this book because I didn't go into depth in my Vlogmas because I was saving it. But this book follows our female character from when she is 11 to when she's 18, and she is 16. She turns 17 about 65-70% of the way through the book. And this is an 850-page book. And I know that Sophie Lark was like, yeah, well, it has all of the art and stuff like that. This is a chunky book. It is a 600-page book without all of the art. And that's chunky, right? And to go from, you know, her being super young, I'm intrigued by the magic system. I'm intrigued by the world that she created. I love Anastasia. I love the original story of Anastasia, both the Disney and like the true version. So I knew what was happening. I personally didn't think the plot twist, which I'm not going to say, I didn't think the plot twist made the book for me. I've read too many fantasy romances that did not make sense. That with the magic system and the world did not make any sense. There was nothing leading up to that, and it wasn't ever described. I just felt like that there was a lot of plot holes with the magic system and with the world, and I had more questions at the end of the book than I probably should have, considering it's not going to be continued, and the trilogy that she's writing as like a spinoff is set in a modern time. It's not going to be set in that time. Will those questions be answered? I hope. Now, I did interview Sophie Lark because it makes me sad that I rated it so low because I am a fan of hers, and I picked her brain a little bit, and I still have questions because we didn't dive into spoilers, so I couldn't really ask like true like spoilery questions because it's a chunky book and not everyone finished it, but I'm intrigued. Now, this is her first try at a fantasy romance. She has written mafia romance before, contemporary mafia romance, darker romances, and I don't think that she quite hit the mark. I personally think she took on way too much with the historical aspects, with the creating the magic system from scratch, creating the fantasy world from scratch, and tying in all those historically accurate pieces. It was way too much, and it took me, I went back and forth on my rating for a while, like probably a day and a half, because I could not decide. I was like, there's pros, there's cons, but at the end of it, the cons outweighed the pros. So unfortunately, that was not my favorite. I did have a DNF, and that was The Sinner by Chantal Tessier. This is a dark romance, and while this is a super spicy book, I felt like I was like 30% into it. I think I DNF'd maybe 40%, only because I'm all here for spicy, steamy, kinky books, right? I love it. Love a dark, psychopathic hero. Like, that's great. This is a stalker, but she knows him, but she doesn't know he's the stalker. She's her friend's brother is the hero. He's the stalker. He's part of, we know what it's called, the Lords. It's like this whole society thing. You see it in The Ritual by Chantal Tessier, which is technically the first book. You don't have to read them in order, but I did, and I like that one. I would recommend that one over this one. I just felt like with all the kinkiness and everything that was happening, she tried to tie in this like emotional thing for the female character and what she's gone through in the past, and it got like too deep, and I was like, no, that's not the vibe. We're switching way too quickly. Like, you can't switch to something like that 30 or 40% of the way through. You need to start with that. So I'm emotionally invested, because at the start of this book, I was like, I'm here for a good time, not a long time. I'm here for the steamy. I'm here for the kinks. I'm all here for that. So that's the reason why I DNF'd it. I just didn't feel like I could see where it was going, and I didn't want to waste my time reading a book that I knew I probably wasn't going to like. I did try to push through, but I was like, no, I'm DNFing. I don't want to read the rest of it. I did read a novella, Resting Scrooge Face by Megan Quinn. This is actually in KU to read and listen, so I got the audiobook. It was cute. I gave it 3 stars. Wasn't bad. Wasn't good. I've said this before, Megan Quinn's not for me, but in holiday romances, I can do the rom-com thing, and this was cute. He's a Scrooge. She is not. And that's pretty much it. They are writing notes back and forth, but they don't know it's each other until like the end of the book. That was the cute part. That was probably the only cute part. That was the only cute part. Then I read The Christmas Blanket by Candy Steiner. This was also a novella. It's a Christmas novella. And I gave this one, I think I gave it 4 stars. Yeah, I gave it 4 stars, and I enjoyed this one because it is a second chance romance. Our female character comes back to her hometown after traveling for forever, and she gets stuck in the snow, and the person who rescues her is actually her ex-husband, and they're forced together because it's snowing. He can't go anywhere. She can't walk anywhere. It's too far. And they kind of have like, they hash it out. They hash out their shit that they've had in the past, and they talk, and yeah, it was just a really cute Christmas novella that she's coming home for Christmas. I did read another Christmas romance, and that's The Holly Dates by Brittany C. Cherry, and I gave it 4 stars, or Brittany Cherry. Everyone was talking about this one, and I did actually like it. Our female character, she is dumped at the altar on Christmas. I think it's Christmas Eve or Christmas Day. And so we fast forward a year later. They're not together, obviously. She's going on dates with these different people. She's extremely bookish. She loves books, like romance books, like we do. And I just thought it was super cute because she's serial dating. She's trying to find the person that she can bring home for Christmas to her family because she told her family she was dating someone even though she's not. She goes on like 14 dates, and the guy that owns the restaurant where she's taking most of her first dates starts to have a thing for her, and it was just really cute. I personally enjoyed that one. I know it's back and forth, but I did read another holiday romance. Wow, so many holiday romances. That's A Merry Little Meet Cute by Sarah Simone and Julie Murphy. I gave this 3.5 stars. I wanted to love this. The first 50% on par. Loved it. I lost it at the last half. I just became unemotionally attached because I felt like it didn't continue on with emotions. I talk about this more in my vlog, but this one, I mean, I would recommend. I don't feel like it's like Sierra Simone's other writing. I don't see like her in that besides our female character being a porn star. I mean, that was pretty cool. That was funny to me. And the main male character, he's a fan of hers and they're working on a Hallmark movie together. I mean, I thought that was interesting and funny, but that's pretty much all I see from Sierra Simone. So everything else must be Julie Murphy. I've never read anything by her. So that's just my thoughts on that. I did read another novella. It's called A Holiday Temptation by Tiffany Patterson. I gave this one 4 stars. I love this cover because he's in a wheelchair and the disability is actually shown on the book, which is pretty unheard of. You don't always see that with disabilities, and I love that. And it's not a cartoon cover, which I really appreciate. And I did enjoy this one. It's a 4 stars. Our female character, she starts working for this company, and they're doing a merger with this other company where a main male character works, and they have had a past. They knew each other when they were both 16, around the time he had his accident where he was paralyzed from the waist down. And I loved it because it showed a disability where he can handle his shit. He can do everything by himself. He doesn't need anyone to help him. It's helpful to have someone, but he doesn't need anyone. He drives a bomb-ass Mustang. He lives in his house by himself. He gets around. Like, he's got it. He is confident in his disability, and he is totally okay with it, and I love that. I personally love that. Then I read The Dark King by Gina Maxwell, and I gave this 3.5 stars. This is a fantasy romance, and I've heard you love it, 5 stars, you hate it, 1 star. That's kind of where my friends land, and I was like, you know what? I want to see what it's about. I did lower my expectations a lot, and I'm glad I did because I enjoyed it. It was a fun time. It was steamy. The plot twist, you saw it coming, but I liked it. I liked that they were arranged. Well, it was waking up in Vegas and you're married and you don't know how you got married, that kind of thing. But he's the fake king and she is a human, supposedly. I just thought it was a good time. I mean, would I recommend it to everyone? No, but if you're looking for super steamy fantasy romance, this is it. Then I read The Secret Puck by Rebecca Genshak, and I've never read anything by this author, and I really, really, really enjoyed this one. I gave it 4.5 stars. This is a new adult hockey romance. Our female character is the sister of the captain of the hockey team, and our main male character is one of the teammates. She's a freshman. Our main male character is a sophomore, and the brother of our female character, he's a senior. So there's kind of like a difference. I just thought it was a super, super cute new adult romance, I guess you can say. I just thought this was a super cute new adult romance that made me feel good. Was it a very emotionally deep? No, but I really enjoyed it. They had like that emotional kind of sprinkled in. He is going through stuff with his parents. She's also going through stuff. And yeah, I just thought it was cute. I love him. He was super like not worshiping, but like appreciative of the female character, and I loved it. Then I read Tinsel by Devaney Perry, and I gave this one 3.5 stars. This one, I wanted to love it, and I thought it was good. It's just the female character, I've said this in my vlog, she reminded me of Piper from It Happened One Summer, where she's like super rich, super spoiled, has a lot of money, and then she goes to this like super small town, and she's like humbled because she has to work. I don't always mind it if it like pans out really well. And I just feel like, yeah, she had to work, but I just felt like it wasn't, I like the hero more than I like the female character. So this one's probably like my second favorite. It's tied for the first book in the series. Now I'm really excited for Timeless, which comes out the end of December. I don't know if I'll get to it this year, but that's kind of why I wanted to get caught up. And I borrowed both of these books, both Tinsel and Tragic, from my library, and the loan came in at the beginning of December, so I wanted to read both of them before it was expired. So yeah, then I read The Mistletoe Motive by Chloe Leese, which is also a holiday novella. Very bookish, very adorable, super cute. She's autistic. I really love Chloe Leese's writing, so I kind of was expecting to enjoy this. But yeah, it was super cute, bookish, holiday themed romance. And I mean, what else could you ask for? And the last book that I actually just finished this morning was A Duel with the Vampire Lord by Elise Kova. I picked this up because I'm in the mood for fantasy romances. I still kind of am. And I listened to the audio while I was reading along, and then I finished audio while I was working today. And I will say that the first like 70% was so good at this book. I was so intrigued. And then it kind of I do know, because you get the HE in here, the ending is not rushed, but like you have to figure it out, right? And they basically, the whole premise is our main male character, who is Reuven. Yeah, Reuven. He's a vampire lord. He takes our female character, Florian is her name, but they call her Rian, I think. Florian, I think that's her name. So bad with names. Takes her captive after, a big battle or something like that. She is the Forge Master, or the daughter of the Forge Maiden, that's what it's called. And I do enjoy that it was like woman empowerment. The women were the ones who did the forge, and they were a smithy, and they create all the stuff for their town. He takes her because he's trying to break a curse. He needs a human. They do a blood oath together, so they're bonded, but that kind of like leads to like them feeling things for each other. And like that was cool, but like, did I believe it at the end? Kind of, yes. It was one of those things where it's like something happens to him and she's like, love powers, you gotta push through because I love you. And I'm like, that's not my favorite thing to read in a fantasy romance. So it was okay. I gave it 4 stars. I like this series. I will say the second one is definitely my favorite still in the series. This one and the first one are tied. They're both pretty good. But Elise Cove is writing in the second book, which is Not a Deal with the Elf King. What is it called? It's up there. Oh, A Dance with the Fey Prince. That one. That's my favorite. Love it. Love the cover. I mean, this cover's cool too because I got this at a Polycon. But, oh, did she sign it? Oh, I did not get this at a Polycon. I ordered this after because she didn't have them. Anyway. This was a good one. Would I recommend it? Yes, but the second one's still my favorite. So if you haven't read the second one, read the second one first. And yes, you can read them out of order. They're all standalone in the series. Don't even see the characters. But yeah, that is my December mid-month wrap-up. I cannot believe that's the middle of December, but I have a super exciting, last 2 weeks of the month planned. So drop me a tree emoji, like a pine tree, because I'm wearing green and my nails are green. And it's Christmas. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe for more content from me. As always, I hope you're living a novel life, and I will see you in my next one. Bye, guys.